You said you can't.
I have logic and reasoning.
You said you can't.
She said she can't explain.
I can't meet this level of crazy. That's
Yeah?
what I can't do.
Okay, well then listen up. So we've got, I can prove that gravity does not exist. Okay?
The Earth is a cube.
Thank you! It's a cube, guys!
So if gravity, I'm answering her question.
She's answering your question.
If gravity exists, that would mean there were no natural flat places on Earth.
Why?
Because gravity is pulling everything. Gravity is pulling to the center of a ball, right? So, the Great Bonneville Lake was a great salt lake, and it dried up. So the top of that lake had that curve in it. It's like 80 miles by 100 miles. So if the top was curved, then when it dried up, the bottom would be curved. But what happened? Bonneville Lake turned into Bonneville Salt Flats. And that's where they did all the high-speed car tests, because it's perfectly flat. So it can't be gravity which pulling to the center of a ball.
So what holds
It has to be something else. So what else could it be? I believe that we live inside a torus field, which is an electromagnetic field. And the electricity comes up out of the North Pole, which excites the elements and causes the aurora borealis. It comes up and around, goes through the sun and the moon, and then down at Antarctica. That would mean that it's warm at the North Pole and warm in Antarctica. That's why they don't allow us to go there.
What? Oh, okay.
Now the force that holds us down,
Go to Antarctica?
the force that holds us down is called diamagnetism.
So Antarctica.
Look that up. The Antarctic Treaty prevents explorations.
So it's warm.
Antarctic Treaty prevents exploration, and around the edge, which could be 300 miles in from the edge that we know, it is warm, I believe, because we have photos from years ago that it's warm. That it's warm. Yes.
I just want to know, like, how, like, you got into this theory. Like, I just want to know, like, what made you, like, decide that,
What
like...
made me do this?
Like, I'm just curious. Like, what enticed you?
Okay, first off, I hate lies.
Okay.
Second thing, I was in a federal case on a different issue, and they tampered with my deposition, and the judge told me, a federal judge in Philadelphia, Judge Diamond of the Eastern District, said, well, you should have figured that out 30 days after you gave it. So he screwed up my whole family, and he screwed us over, lost our house and everything. So I know the government is a lying sack of you-know-what. And this is what caused me to have my war against the lies. And it's me going out and telling the truth to everybody. That's my revenge.
You a communist?
I
have a question about Donald.
He's one of them. There is no politics. This is something you have to figure out. There's no, what they like to do is put up false dichotomies. They put up a false duality, and they keep you guessing, oh, I'll do this and that'll make things better. Oh, I'll do this. But no, because they're all on the same team. They are all on the same team. Who was next? Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, let him do.
So are other planets flat as well, or no?
The only thing you can see in a telescope is a two-dimensional object. You cannot tell if they're spheres.
So they are flat.
So like if you kept observing
I don't know that.
saw its rotation and saw different areas of the same like planet, they would just say what?
Like Jupiter's rotation? Is that what you're talking about? There are other bodies. Okay.
Like if you saw like Mars and like kept observing it and saw that it was different.
There are other things up there that we are not being told about. Jupiter, they say, has a red spot. It's not a red spot. It's just another moon going across of it. And it looks like it's rotating, but it's not. It's a translucent object going across it,
Well, we'll
like a
figure that
moon.
out when the red spot actually disappears because it's deteriorating anyway.
Just going around it.
Just going around. So like when we lose the
That's
red
all I
spot,
can say.
that's-
All you have to know is that the surface of the Earth is flat, and the rest of it you have to figure out. I don't know.
I have a question about the. So it says like, why would they lie?
It's like money, power, control. So can like large corporations profit off the Earth being flat?
Our government is a corporation. Did you know that?
Alright. Can like McDonald's kill?
We're not talking about the government here. We're talking about.
Like,
No,
I'm saying,
yeah, we are. They're all
Like you
connected.
mentioned money, so like this business, like you know, we live in a capitalistic
Do
society.
you know that the Federal Reserve Bank has nothing to do with our government? It's a privately owned bank. The Federal Reserve is nothing to do with our Constitution. Did you know that they took all of our gold? We do not have any gold owned by the United States anymore. They have it and took it away. We are not on a gold standard. Our money is not worth the paper it's printed on.
What does that have to do
Not
with
in
the
the
Earth being
progress anymore, guys.
He asked me a question. You want me to lie to him or ignore him? I answered your questions. I'm answering his.
Not really.
Well, you have to study a little bit more so you can answer, ask the right questions. No, it's not. The problem is not with me. The problem is that you don't know the material.
Well, this is from one website. That's
No, it's not. There's
you
many.
said- you
There's
said all the
many.
Research.
You said all the
Many.
information on this is from the one website, flatearth101.com.
Yeah, the 200 proofs. Yeah, the 200. No. I didn't learn everything there. No. I helped to build that website because I learned, and there were several of us got together and we built the website. So,
Oh, that explains it. It's for money. Bye, guys.
no, it's not. I don't get a dime out of this. Goodness gracious.
Okay, I have a question.
Educate yourself, little girl.
I have a question about the Earth.
Gosh.
I have a question about the
Warm?
I'm sorry?
Were you saying Antarctica was warm?
Yes, there are, yes.
When
Antarctica, if you go in from the edge, it is.
So when there was a guy that literally hiked to the South Pole, and if he sweat, he would get frostbite, but it's warm there. Okay.
No, he went around the edge. He went across.
Around the edge.
He went across the edge. He did not go through the center. You can't do that, number one. You can't. You got to look into those things. Show the plot the points where he went, and it's not across the whole thing. He didn't go across the whole thing. Yes.
So the idea is that like Antarctica like surrounds like the Earth, right? What are you doing? So then how would somebody get like from California to like Japan or something? Like how do you
Okay.
get all the way around?
Yeah, Antarctica goes all the way around the outside edge.
Yeah.
Okay. So where's Japan? Here's Japan,
So it's like a
right there,
All right.
and there's California.
Gotcha.
Straight line.
So
That's it.
All this is Antarctica, right?
The white that goes around.
Yeah. That's
Now
all
look,
the Arctic.
there's the United Nations logo. They leave off Antarctica.
Ooh, interesting. The Coriolis effect.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't affect.
No.
Okay, so
You can have it go different ways in one household.
but I was okay. But how do I control that?
How do you control it?
Yeah, you said it can go different way in any other household.
It's really about the way the things are manufactured. And if you have all the corporations in control with government, they can say you're only allowed to sell toilets in the northern hemisphere, so to speak, one way, and in the southern they do this. They are that crazy. So yeah, they'll make that happen, but it's not true.
I'm just confused what it has to do with the Earth being flat.
Well, they say when the Earth spins, this goes faster, so it makes everything go that way or that way.
Okay.
Because this is spinning faster at the equator.
Okay.
But it doesn't do that.
What does it do?
It's flat and it doesn't spin at all.
It doesn't spin at all.
No.
So how do you explain years then? Like how do we go from today into a year from now?
Has to do with the sun.
Because we orbit around the sun.
No, because the sun moves around us. It's all the same. It doesn't change anything with the years. I'm
The
sorry?
universe.
That makes
That's
sense. So
what
we're the center of the universe.
Yes, the Earth, it's geocentric.
Are you positive you still believe the Earth is flat, Caitlin?
Yes, geocentric.
I'm talking to my friend. She thinks the Earth is flat.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't
When
think
I
she's
was
gonna
down
believe
at
it after hearing
Temple,
this whole conversation.
when I was in Temple, somebody got on the phone with a friend of theirs
Come now.
from Penn State Ambler, and they invited me to go over there. So I went over there a couple weeks later.
Did W.Chester ask you to come here?
No, I came on my own.
Okay. So,
Okay, so we're just
Like, how do shadows work then? Like, if I'm standing here, as time passes, my shadow will move, but if the Earth was flat, wouldn't it not move? It would always be the same.
No, we are on a flat Earth, and the sun is moving past us. So yeah, it works with the
But if we
sundial.
were flat, like, if you put me over there and you put me over here, my shadows are different.
Are you talking about like Eratosthenes? Like, okay. So
I don't know a lot about
Eratosthenes,
it.
first off, we don't even know if he was a real person. He's just written it up in a book. Okay.
Is
So
everything just written up in the book?
no, some things we can observe for ourselves. And that's what you should go off of, what's real to yourself here, you can observe. So you know if you have a sundial that you can observe those things. And so if it's a globe and it was directly above someplace on a globe, it would have no shadow. That's correct. And if there was another stick up here, it would have a shadow. That's correct. But it would also do exactly the same thing if the Earth was flat and the sun was really close. That's the difference. The sun has to be really close.
So do you think the sun is closer than
I think it could be as close as 10 miles, but it's much smaller than we think.
Can I actually take a photo with you?
With me?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Colin.
Now watch yourself.
No, yeah, no. It's just.
Here, hold this.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Go ahead.
If the sun was that close, if it was 10 miles away and smaller, then how would planes not hit it?
Because planes usually fly about 37,000 feet, no more than that. But it could be that close, I'm saying. I don't have an exact figure for that. But it could be because of other evidence that I've seen. I've seen a commercial pilot take a video out of his cockpit, and on the control panel it said 37,000 feet as he scanned by, and then he went to the horizon, but the sun was below the horizon.
But
you could see it.
People fly in places,
So-
people who like travel in planes, like people get their pilot's license, they get private planes and they fly. Wouldn't they eventually see an edge? Like,
You're not allowed to go within to the 60th parallel of Antarctica. You can't go that close to Antarctica. They don't allow it. They shoot you down.
You can. You're just not allowed
The
to
only
use
way you
planes.
can go there is if you pay thousands of dollars and they escort you.
So-
they do not allow free exploration
think
due
that
to the
they-
Antarctic Treaty.
so
I agree.
someone's been there
Do
then.
you? There. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
all
can
the
take a
people
cruise
in the
to
club.
Antarctica.
The people in the club who want to control us. See, the club of the government officials
So-
and the trillionaires. The
Say,
trillionaires.
like I go to Antarctica. Do you think they're gonna like control the temperature?
You
for
won't
me
get
to,
that
like, think it's
close.
cold?
They shoot first and ask questions
But no,
later.
like if I paid the thousands of dollars to get there.
They will hold your hand and escort you. They even admit that the South Pole is not the real South Pole. And they do a little dance around it, and they're really goofy. It's mockery. It's mockery.
Who does a dance?
what are they
Like
gaining?
Prince Philip or something who...
Like if I was a billionaire and I went to Antarctica and I was like, shit, the Earth is flat. What am I gaining from it being
You
flat
would,
and not
first
round?
off, you would not be
That's what I asked.
you would not be allowed to be a billionaire until you first agree to what their club rules are. Then they let you in. Then you can earn that money. Otherwise, they take it away from
I want
you.
to agree. How do we become a billionaire?
What if
Okay.
I win the lottery?
First off, you become a Freemason, and then you say you hate Christianity.
Got it.
Okay, and you will lie and cheat and steal and kill people that you don't like.
That's all you got to do?
That's all you got to
Oh,
do.
man. Where do I sign up? So what else is flat?
Why does it when you're on a plane though, and you look out a window, why does there appear to be curvature?
Okay, so the airplane windows, not the cockpit, that's different. That's why we have that commercial pilot who takes videos and it looks different. The plane windows are like 3 layers,
Okay, but
and
what
they're
if you're in a
curved.
helicopter and the white side's open? Because I have been in a
like
helicopter.
Well, I used to date a helicopter pilot who owned an airport, and we flew every week. And yeah, the glass can distort things, but the horizon is always at your eye level, no matter how high you go. You look at it. Yes. Look up some airplane footage. Go to this website, and they have them on there of the out of the cockpit. That's it. Flat Earth one.
Like who's like the creator to the website?
Well,
and
a friend of mine Friend of mine.
And what does he do?
He's just a guy who does mortgages.
So how do you compare? Like, I understand you're saying like the government and like what they believe, but like, what about like scientists who dedicate their lives to studying this? What would they have to gain from it?
I'm not saying that every scientist knows this because they compartmentalize.
But why would someone who like, what did you say your friend does? Mortgages and stuff?
Yeah.
Why would someone who does that know more than someone who dedicated their whole life to studying it?
It's not about knowing more, it's about knowing truth. You see, once you get if you get a high-paying job, like look at what the teachers are getting paid nowadays. $70,000 for a kindergarten teacher. Yeah. So, would you keep your mouth shut to get that money? You bet you would.
Pay more than high school teachers.
I don't know. I think there's lots of people who look at a lot of things greater than money.
Well, when you're young, you're idealist. I'm a lot older than you, and I'm still an idealist, and I hate lies. So that's why I'm out here. But a lot of people would sell their soul for money. They will do it on the drop of a
I
dime.
know a lot of people who wouldn't too.
Okay, well, they don't know the truth, do they? They aren't here looking at this, are they? That's why I'm going out. This only came out in like 15, and I only learned it 2 years
The
ago.
only issue is, like, I've been standing here for like almost an hour now, and I just still don't believe it.
You don't have to.
But
You have to study it
but
first. You have to study it. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here
You're
just to
studying it
give
and
you
you're
the
saying-
information.
But if
But
You have all the
only-
tools right now.
Like I'm not like dissing you. The only information you've given me is that like the government and money and all that stuff.
And why don't you be honest and tell me the questions you've been asking me?
I've been asking you why does it matter that the Earth is a ball or if it's flat?
And how is that going to show you if it's flat?
But it doesn't matter.
No. See, what's in your mind is it doesn't matter and who cares. That's why you will never figure this out. Because you don't care. You don't see the value of truth. You don't see the value of truth. I can
I do see
never.
the value of truth.
No, you don't.
what about time zone?
But I just don't get why they lie about
we were
something.
flat, we would-
that's what I'm saying. I just don't
Okay.
get why they lie.
Some guy comes up to you in a bar and says, "Honey, you're the most gorgeous thing I ever saw in my life." Aren't you going to give it up to him? He'll lie to you and
I'm
tell
not
you
that type of
everything.
girl.
Come
I'm not
on.
that type of girl. You don't know me like
Come
that.
on. Come on.
I know. Some
Come
guy walks
on.
up to me, bar, says I'm the most
Be
gorgeous girl in the
real.
world. I'm not going to give it up to him.
Come, okay. So he has to buy you dinner too. The men lie, people lie. Oh, come on. Come on. Look. People lie to get things.
It's something that has not, again, this is bringing in things that earlier you brought in my husband cheating on me. What I want to know the truth.
Well, why
And
you
now you're
care?
bringing in if some guy comes up
Yeah.
to me at a bar and says, "Oh, like you're the most gorgeous girl in the world," and me saying I'm not going to give it all up to him. What does that have to do with me wondering about the Earth being flat?
That's what I'm asking you. That's exactly what I'm asking you. What does it matter?
what
Why
does
are
that-
they doing it
what does
if
that-
it's true?
But what does that example have to do with what I'm asking?
You don't even get that. You don't even get that.
You
Think.
get that.
Think about
Does
it.
anybody else here understand that?
I have a
Anybody?
question. Wait, can you explain
Anybody
gravity?
understand that?
Because the way
Yeah.
like the force of attraction pulls between it depends on the mass of the objects and the distance between them. So there would have to be a center pull pulling us. Otherwise, gravity would not work.
That's the theory of gravity. You're correct.
So
But that doesn't
if
exist.
the flat wouldn't have gravity,
It
then why
does-
do things fall?
I believe that. I agree that things fall.
But why? What do you think is like outside the bounds of Earth? Do you still think there's like a whole outer space and other
Okay.
things? But why aren't we?
Now
up in
you're
there?
kind of like on an emotional tangent here. So calm down and I'll tell you.
I'm not
okay.
emotional. I'm just. That's just my personality. I'm
Okay.
like that.
Well, calm down. Calm down.
You can gladly ask her.
Calm down.
Do you think that like
She wants to know gravity. She didn't hear it the other two times I
I wasn't
explained.
here.
I just want to know why you have to go if you believe the Earth is flat.
Why carry this? So people can understand that for a curvature formula, whatever goes out has to go down. That's why we have a curvature formula. See? But see, some people can't visualize things, so I have to show them.
One question. What would the government gain from lying, saying that the Earth is round versus flat? Like, what are they really gaining from that?
If they can fool us, they can rule us.
But like,
Their ultimate goal is to control our mind.
so like, if the government
They are
just
controlling
straight up
our
said,
mind
like,
with this. It's a religion.
it's not really a religion, but like, if the
Do
government
you believe it?
I don't care.
Without
what
proof.
Without.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But like what? But what I'm saying is like, if the government just straight out said like the Earth is flat and it's like, yeah, I believe it, like it wouldn't change our day-to-day lives.
The government will never tell you that. They
But, like,
lie.
It doesn't change our lives whether they said that
It
or
does.
not.
It's about the lie. Now, gravity.
Someone has a question.
So if the Earth, like if everything's on the top and the Earth circle is around, what's underneath? Like what happens if you
just dig straight
what's
down.
underneath?
How far have we ever dug a hole? Do you know?
But I'm asking like what's underneath the Earth.
If you're not going to answer my questions, I can't help you.
Where's the core then?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. What's
8 miles. 8 miles is the furthest that was ever dug a hole.
I'll double check that.
I don't know what's beyond there. I can give you some good ideas.
There's a core and it's really hot. So that's why they're not going down.
What about the magnetic
No.
What's there's no core.
Have you ever
I've
been
been
on an
lied to my
airplane?
whole entire life, ever since I was in kindergarten.
My father was a pilot who flew off aircraft carriers. I dated a pilot and flew twice a week with him for more than 2 years. And he owned the airport. Do I know what it's like? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I flew. So, does anybody want to know about gravity?
I do. I never answered that.
All right, here's the gravity question. Gravity is defined as pulling to the center of the ball. Okay? Now, this is just for demonstration purposes. I don't want to hear any smart remarks. So, gravity, if it's true, then there would be no natural flat places on Earth. Okay? The Bonneville Salt Lake was a great salt lake, 80 miles by 100 miles, and it dried up. The top of that salt lake, if there was gravity, the surface would be curved. It would have that curvature in the surface of that lake. Well, it dried up. And now the bottom of the lake is called the Bonneville Salt Flats. Because the bottom is flat. There was no curve in it. Do you understand that?
Wait. I have a gravity question. So, if the Earth is flat, how do necessarily the currents work based off the fact that it's
They look very different. They look very different.
They look very different.
No.
So,
On a
am I
bowl,
wrong about the currents in the ocean?
between a bowl and the flat, the currents are they make a whole lot more sense. Everything about the flat Earth model makes more sense.
Have you ever
Now I'm going to tell you, I'm going to finish the edge. I'm going to finish the end of the gravity question. This is my theory, okay? My theory is that we live inside a torus field, which is an electromagnetic field. It comes up out of the North Pole, and then when it comes out, it excites the elements in the atmosphere there, and that creates the aurora borealis. Then it goes around, and it hits the dome, which is over above this whole thing. And then it goes through the sun, which is a filament, and the moon, which is a filament, and it's like an anode-cathode relationship. It goes down at Antarctica, which is right around the edge. So the center of the North Pole and the edge of Antarctica, I think, are warm because of this electromagnetic field. Now the force that we're going to look at, which holds things down, is a push down, not a pull down, and it's diamagnetism. You have to look that up. I have it here on the banners. Diamagnetism. Everything is affected by diamagnetism, not just metals. We all of us are affected by diamagnetism. That's my theory. I cannot defend it further than that. The same way gravity cannot be defended.
What about the ocean trenches? Because they go much deeper than 7 miles.
They do?
Oh yeah, very honest. Hundreds of miles.
Well, I don't know. Have you ever been there? Or are you just taking your word for it again?
No, but they've sent.
That's all we know. I think I would like you to all do your own experiments. Do your own experiments and know for yourself. don't just believe anything that anybody tells you. You know how to go out and look at the sun, make a sundial. You can do experiments. Figure it out for yourself.
Then why should I believe you?
I'm not telling you to believe me. I just said to go figure it out for yourself. Did I say believe everything I say?
No.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I just to make sure.
Okay, what time is it?
1:30.
1:30? Oh, I'm having so much fun. Time is flying.
Why does everywhere in the world not experience seasons the same?
Yeah.
Because the sun moves.
All right, but do you think
Yeah, but the sun's always the same. The sun's not changing. We're changing.
No, that's your heliocentric model, and I'm teaching the flat Earth model.
Yeah, and I don't
The sun, that's right, the sun moves. The sun moves.
Yes,
The sun, yes. The sun is moving around us.
then how would you explain the temperatures of other planets?
How do you know that?
That would mean if we're in a I mean, how do you know that? That would mean if we were
You have to learn everything in a book in order for you to graduate. And I'm going to tell you that the people who get straight A's are the dumbest people because they accept everything they're told without investigating it.
It's a basic level, I do agree.
Now, what does that tell you?
I have very open-minded professors who accept the things that, and I have argued things my teachers have said, and I still get A's.
I'm telling you, that's my opinion, is that the smartest who get straight A's are the dumbest because they don't do investigation for
I've
themselves.
done plenty of my own outside research. All right, so I'm just saying you're calling me dumb.
Earth flat.
Do you see outside
Do you have a 4.0 GPA?
I do not, but I am close to it, and I
Okay.
worked really hard and done a lot outside research.
So now that I've told you there's another theory besides heliocentric, you're going to probably look into this if you have an inquisitive mind.
I will, yeah.
Okay, so when you do that, then you're going to say, wait a minute, and then you'll be smart.
So if the Earth.
See, that's how it works. You investigate something.
Just because you don't know one thing doesn't mean you aren't intelligent. There's plenty of things I haven't investigated, and I'm sure there's plenty of things you haven't investigated.
Well,
That doesn't
I'll tell you what.
mean you're intelligent.
I also research alternative medicine, and I don't go to doctors because I'm
I
a.
research alternative medicine, and I think there are a lot of valuable practices in it, but I also think that there are a lot of valuable practices for actual medicine.
What's your view on vaccinations?
It's a big question.
Okay. All right. So vaccinations. So what do they put in vaccinations?
Mercury. A small amount of the disease that you're supposed to build.
Cyanide.
Okay. So if that's the only thing they put in there is a dead virus in order.
It's not dead. It's alive.
Well, I don't even like the live thing because you know is it measles or mumps now that they all got it from the vaccinations?
I think that's from the wagon.
They're at 20.
Vaccinations are the same with mom.
Pretty sure they came back years and stopped getting vaccinated.
I don't think anybody ever died of measles.
Oh my god.
All right.
Holy shit. I think a lot of people I know people die from October and I'm like,
What do you think they died from? Like, people who contracted measles and died, what do you think they died from?
How do you know they died?
because they're dead.
How do you know they
No,
died?
I have a hand. Because you see it.
No. Did you read the statistics from the government? Well, how do you know people died? I'm asking you the question.
That's like saying, how do you know people died?
No. You just said people died from the measles. How do you know that?
Because it's written down in medical journals.
There's medical records of it.
And who owns the medical schools?
They're mostly privately owned. Yeah, they're privately owned.
I'm behind all of this.
That's why they're so expensive.
No.
I like how you appropriately wore that.
The pharmaceutical companies have taken over the medical schools.
I'm fairly certain.
I knew it.
Yeah, and they're privately owned too.
All right, big thanks.
No, because they are taught drug therapy.
So do we have a cure for
Close with my
cancer?
family.
Yes.
One of my great
That's early.
There are many cures. The biggest thing, listen guys, I'm going to give you a clue here. If you want to be healthy, make sure your body stays alkaline. It's the blood in its natural state.
I'm very good at keeping
7 point. The blood should be 7.65.
make a lot more sense after an hour.
If you are acidic, you're going to start to have problems. So stay away from things that make you acidic. Stress is a big thing that makes you acidic.
What are a few of those things? What should I stay away from?
Stress. Stress makes you acidic. Worry. Those things.
I didn't know stress was
Yes. There's a lot of things, a lot of foods. When you eat things, when you eat toxins, even though they taste good, like tortilla chips and things, and your body becomes acidic, and then it will eat the minerals from your bones to try and neutralize the acid condition.
Why would homeostasis in your body not change? Not increase? The pH of your body would not change.
Why doesn't homeostasis what?
Your body's pH doesn't change.
No, your body, when you take in toxins, your body is threatened.
Are you talking about like bleach? Like
No.
what toxins are you talking?
Toxins that taste good.
What toxins?
Like the chemicals they put on taco chips and things.
What chemicals?
There's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Okay, but like if I eat a tablespoon of sugar, are you saying like that's toxic?
I stay away from sugar.
Why?
Well, because too much of it is really bad.
Why? That's true. Too much of anything is really bad. That's true.
Well, I think that.
But like, why won't you won't let you don't have sugar like ever? Like you won't let yourself have it in small amounts?
Well, if I go to a family dinner and they have something there, I'll have some of it, but I don't ever use it when I'm home.
Like, is there...
Well, I think they're processing the sugar and putting stuff in it. Why? To make our bodies acidic.
They're putting stuff in every food you eat then?
Yeah. So why
do you eat anything?
So why don't we eat raw?
How do you know they're not doing stuff to them?
Well, yeah, because they have GMOs.
Yeah, but what about organic, non-GMO stuff? Who controls that?
That's what I do. No, that's what I do.
How do you know it's non-GMO?
The stuff that's labeled as
Well,
non-GMO is regulated by the government.
GMO.
People are trying to walk through this pathway. If you could not block the entire pathway, that would be very much appreciated.
Well, you're not that big. You got through.
No, we're standing here.
I will stand with you.
It doesn't matter. The earth is flat. Clay, go around.
Look, guys. The thing is, you're not going to be young forever. So your bodies are not going to hold up like they are now.
That's just what I'm saying is right now, your body, the pH of your body will not change.
Yes, it will. And your body has to regulate it. That's
Your body
why.
does regulate it with homeostasis. That's why the pH doesn't change.
No, it does change. And you can see that by you doing urine tests.
Your urine, because your body is filtering it out. That's why your kidneys and liver
Yes.
work. It can change the pH of your urine. It cannot change the pH of your body, of your blood.
No, it does change. And then your body regulates it. But see, you are assaulting your body with a lot of stuff that you don't even realize.
How do you mean assault?
With eating things that are not good for you.
Give me an example.
Tortilla chips, taco chips or whatever I just said, you know.
What is it in those that you think is so bad?
Everything that you can't read. All those chemical names and all that.
There's plenty of things you can't read that are perfectly normal.
All right.
But if you say like a tablespoon of sugar...
So you know what? I would stand here, if I didn't like you, I would stand here and say, just go ahead and do what you want to do, honey. Eat everything you want to, whatever tastes good. Whatever tastes good, do it.
I'm not saying people should eat all kinds of junk food.
Do you know
I
what?
studied this, and
There's a guy named Aleister Crowley. He was a Satanist. And you know what his mantra was? Do what thou wilt. So he said, do anything you want. There's no consequence.
No, there's definitely consequences.
Oh, then why are you arguing with me?
Because you're not going to change the pH of your body by eating food.
Yeah, I already asked about currents.
No. Then, if that's true, then there would be no illnesses in the world.
The illnesses are not based on the pH of your body.
And it's not based on genetics.
Actually,
No, it's not.
well,
Autism. Autism, is that genetic?
it could be, yes.
How do you have a genetic epidemic?
I don't have...
There is is no such thing as a genetic epidemic.
She brought in disabilities in this conversation. I gotta go.
Because that's what they said it was. They claimed it was an epidemic. How do you have a genetic epidemic? You don't. That's a lie. It's all what they're doing in the vaccines.
Then how come there's people who are unvaccinated who still have autism? Who have never had anything put in their body?
Why don't you research the Amish population? The Amish do not have it, and they don't vaccinate.
Well, I don't know too much about this, but
Well, look into
what I'm
it.
saying is,
Look into it.
it is thought by scientists, like when they test babies that autism, the gene is formed before they leave.
Do you know what? Do you know what I said earlier about the high grade point average? I'm seeing that right now.
So you're calling me stupid.
Because you're arguing with me and you don't know anything about it.
I'm saying I don't know anything about
No,
it.
you don't. I'm giving you an alternative, and you're not saying,
But what I'm
let me
saying-
look into it. I never knew that.
Look, I did say
No.
that. You specifically said many times research this, and I said I would. But what you're telling
Now we're talking about what I'm telling you about the vaccines and things. You're not. You never heard about that.
I admitted that, and I'm not saying I
Okay, well then stop arguing and just listen and say I'll look into it.
arguing and just listen to what you say.
Yeah, I'm not going to convince you. I'm not going to convince you.
I'm just trying to gain your thoughts. Because you said that listening to a textbook is wrong. So how is listening
Yeah.
to one person's idea is wrong? I'm trying to understand so that I can view my own opinions.
But you need to know more about the subject before you can ask an intelligent question. It's not
You
an
know more
insult.
about nutrition before you consistently
No,
talk about the alkalinity of the
because I've
body.
been researching this for many years.
I have lots of registered dietitians.
Yeah.
Why are you more qualified than a registered dietitian to talk about
Because they learn things out of a book,
and all books are wrong?
not the ones I read.
So what do you read? Do you read research? Or do you
I
go
research.
off of, a testimonial is not research.
No, I read all the books and I compare them and I decide what I'm going to do for myself.
So you would say that some of those books are correct, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that our professors also read textbooks and decide which ones are we going to
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
You know what they do? They teach whatever the government gives them.
That's not true. I
That
have
is
teachers
true.
who have formulated their own textbooks to give us based off pulling materials from different things.
They are not allowed to touch on certain subjects. They will be shut down. You get them to bring me in and have a debate. You get your teachers. Here it is. I challenge this school to a debate. You get your teachers to set up a debate, and I will come. I will bring anybody else with me. Okay? And they will not allow it on this campus. I'm telling you. They won't allow it. That's censorship.
That's not the teacher's decision. It's the school's decision. So the teachers may be willing to debate you somewhere else, outside the campus.
That's fine. Anywhere. Anywhere. I'll do it.
On any topic.
Well, flat Earth is why I'm here.
Yeah, but you were just arguing about autism and what's the other thing? Alkalinity of your body and vaccines. I'm sure there's plenty of professors here who have done lots of research to get their doctoral degrees. Who could say
Look up Dr. John Berg, B-E-R-G, and he'll tell you a thing or two on YouTube. Yeah.
why is that one doctor better than all the other doctors?
Well, because he has a good sense of humor. That's why I like him.
Lots of people have a good
Where is the edge?
I have a really good sense of humor, you're just not seeing it.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
So, where's the edge? Well, first off, we only know to the shoreline of Antarctica. Anything past that, they don't let us know. Right here. That's Antarctica. Actually, there is. Look. Sorry. Here's the map. North Pole's in the center. Antarctica goes around the outside edge. All these world organizations use the flat Earth map, but they leave off Antarctica. Yeah, it's different.
I have a question about your Antarctica ice wall picture here. Why is the wall here photoshopped? The light is coming down on this from here on the wall, but it's coming in here the rest of the picture. For always.
I don't know. I didn't notice that.
You have a fake photo.
Well, then I'll have to get
And
it off.
also, with this here, this is Pangea, correct?
No, that's us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's us. That's a flat Earth map.
That's a flat Earth map? Okay.
Yeah.
Correct. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
if the sun is in these positions here during these times of month, and you were to place a stick here, and the sun, so let's say the stick is placed at the same time.
Aristophanes?
I think so. Correct? Yeah, where it
Yeah.
has its different. It has a different shadow
Yeah.
on the same time. But
Yeah,
500
that's what
miles north.
he said. He proved that it was a ball because the shadows were, there wasn't a shadow at the one well and then there was a shadow at the other one. Okay, but that does happen. If it's a ball, that will happen.
Both of them had shadows.
Okay, but it will also happen if the sun is very close and it's flat.
Both of them had shadows.
Both had shadows.
He wasn't in the North Pole.
You calculated the circumference.
Do you know what a nit is?
A what?
A nit, N-I-T. It's a lice egg. Do you know what nit picking is?
Taking lice eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how small they are? Do you know how neurotic you have to be to start nitpicking?
You know how this proves your.
Did anybody get that? Did you get that?
So you're saying I'm right.
Yeah. So you're saying you can't prove
No, I'm saying it doesn't matter.
You can't prove a negative.
So we
If
got-
can
so we-
prove that your point is wrong.
Yeah, so we proved you wrong, and you're like,
No.
We can prove a negative incorrect.
If they both had a shadow and there was a difference in the shadows,
Yeah.
then
that's
they
exactly what
could
happened.
then they could calculate it. But
Yes, they did.
but
That's
that
exactly
model, the model also works on a flat surface when the sun is close. Get yourself a flashlight and test it for yourself.
When the sun is close.
You don't want to, you just want to mock.
I'm here with them.
And they're mocking. So you're a follower mocker.
A sheep.
A sheeple.
See, this is why I don't believe the government told me.
Hey, wait a minute. Oh, I know what I know what these guys need. They need some authority here. Okay, now we got the authority. You're not going to argue with a lab coat, are you?
Yeah, I don't know why you did.
Oh!
I gotta go now.
Oh, there's no moon landing.
NASA lies. No moon landing. Because some dumb people need explanations. So what do you think?
Oh, now you have a lab coat on.
That's right.
Explain how you think they take the moon landing.
Well, there was space may be a final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Do you know that song?
Yeah.
That's it. Kubrick did it. Yep.
She just quoted Californication by the time she was.
No, it did. Yes.
In order to create enough light to create
Start
a shadow
looking-
that would match that on the moon.
No.
You need a
Start
laser.
looking into Tartaria.
Tartaria.
We had electricity way, way, way long ago.
Yes, that's
The
true.
ancient Egyptians had electricity, guys.
While we're in a fight.
They lied to us about that.
How do you spell Tartaria?
Taria.
That's a
You have
place
to
in
just, you just have to look up.
So that's a place in Romania.
No, it used to encompass like the whole northern Europe. Yeah.
I will sue so bad.
First off, you have to look into it, and you have to understand it, and you have to decide.
Do you mean Tartary?
Tartaria. There's free-flowing electricity up there, and we used to collect it on every building to light up lights.
Electrical light bulbs.
Yes, we had all that.
Back in my lawyer. This area exists.
And they destroyed it, just like they're destroying all the buildings. There used to be capacitors on all the buildings, and they had mercury in them, and that collected the energy.
No, like I'm a comp sci student.
The Earth is a cube.
Don't let the Muslims hear you say that; they'll be insulted.
You said we had capacitors. Now, in order for that to happen, that means we would have to have the technology to get copper.
Oh, so now wait a minute. So you believe in evolution?
Great. How did evolution get into this?
Because evolution says we used to be stupid, and now we're smart. When just exactly the opposite is true. We used to be very advanced, and now we're getting dumber.
That's why I said you can't.
That's the truth.
How can you prove that?
Horizon is always at your eye level. I can prove that because the Earth is flat, and I know it.
The Earth is not flat.
You don't know it yet.
Wait, I'm sorry how that correlates. Because the Earth is flat, that means we couldn't have been stupid back then?
Right.
How?
Yeah, because we used to be very smart.
But how do you know that? Because the Earth is flat.
And we are stupid now because we believe this.
You see it's circular, but it's just like...
Because we believe the Earth is flat, that means all of the theories about other...
No, because people believe this. That means they're not as smart as we used to be.
Because back
Why do you wear it? To show that you don't
So I can show demonstrations.
All right, I want to see a demonstration. Let's go. What's the demonstration? What's this?
All right.
Let's go.
Did you know that the horizon is always at your eye level, no matter how high you go? Airplane or Mount Everest, it's always at your eye level. That's because the horizon is a property of perspective. Did you know that if you're on a bowl, if you go out, no, I'm not done. You asked me for some time. If you go out, it has to drop. Did you know that no matter where you stand on a globe, you're on top of the world? And everything must fall away. Okay?
No.
So,
because gravity doesn't exist in a globe, correct?
there's a curvature formula. That's curvature formula.
You disproved yourself.
Like, that is exactly the point.
We shouldn't be able to see Chicago.
She's beating kids with it.
over 60 miles of Lake Michigan. We shouldn't be able to see that.
I have a question.
Why isn't the bubble
How do the days change? That's what and the Earth is flat.
All the other planets orbit around us. So you believe that the Earth is flat?